I want to go ahead and just let everybody know that, my name is Micheal Tawill, and I'm going to be your host for today's web presentation, and really your host. And I couldn't be more excited because what I'm going to be covering today is what you're going to be discovering for the most part is the London breakout strategy. You're going to be understanding the European session, as well as you're going to be learning how to utilize trade setups in the European session. Okay. Now, my goal is to really give you an overall proper expectation of what you can really expect as a Forex investor utilizing these specific types of strategies. And I will tell you right now that everything that I'm going to be teaching you today, I have learned through Market Traders Institute, and I'm going to actually show you what I'm talking about here once I pull up my charts here in just one moment. Now, do want to quickly just go over the quick disclaimer here. So I want to let you all know that trading does have its own form of risk involved. Okay, you should never invest money that you can't afford to lose, and always trade with equity management in mind. Now, there is no such thing as an undefeated season, and you may incur losses from time to time, but the key is to keep your profits high and have minimal losses. Now, it is highly recommended that you do go, through the education, and basically when you start trading, just make sure you're trading as an educated and knowledgeable trader. It's definitely not a market you want to gamble in. Also, please be advised that anything that I'm going to show you today, do not take this as investment advice. Okay, I'm going to walk through some, several trade setup examples, and I will show you some trades that win, and also show you the other side of it as well. So, with that being said, I want to go ahead and let you all know I do appreciate your time, and let's go ahead and let's get right into things. So, with that being said, just a quick intro, let you know. Once again, we have a lot of people that just joined here. I noticed in the last minute or so. My name is Micheal Tawill, and really for the past 7 years, I've been coaching and mentoring individuals on essentials necessary to succeed in the marketplace. I do speak to organizations and large audiences, training them on how to become a results-driven achiever. And everything that I'm going to be showing you today, once I graduated, I really realized that, I want more out of life. That's what really got me to look into the Forex market, and that's ultimately what got me to where I'm at today. So with that, let me just give you a quick breakdown on who is MTI. Well, MTI stands for Market Traders Institute. Now, we were founded by Jared Martinez in February of 1994, and we are located in Lake Mary, Florida. Now, we do employ over 100 of the most talented staff in the industry, and I will tell you that over the last 20 years, they've had the honor of working with over 30,000 clients and students from all corners of the world. Now, we do operate under a single mission, which is we never leave a client behind. Now, I want to also let you know that here at MTI, all right, not only does MTI have some of the best strategies, but MTI also has some of the best expert Forex instructors and analysts in the Forex industry. Now, one in particular that I want to actually mention and bring up right now is Joshua Martinez. People also know him as the FX Pathfinder. And why am I actually telling you this? All right. Well, not only is Joshua Martinez one of the MTI's product knowledgeable experts, but I want to go ahead and let you know the reason I'm actually bringing him up is because the strategies I'm going to be showing you are the exact strategies that he basically discovered and that he taught me specifically. And I want to go ahead and let you know what has he actually done and why should we, if you will, listen to him and his strategies. Well, he's MTI's product expert. He's trained thousands of Forex investors. He's turned an initial deposit investment of $500 US and generated over $39,000 US dollars of profit. He's made thousands of Forex investments. He's a published author, international speaker, pro analyst, and finally, he is a full-time trader. Okay? Now, I will tell you that the strategy that I'm going to be showing you today has allowed him to do some unbelievable things, and let's go ahead and quickly talk about that. All right, for example, back in June 5th, 2011, he did open up a trading account with just $500 US dollars. Now, what that gave him the ability to do was to trade with a micro position. Okay? Now, when he first started trading, maybe, I don't know, like many of you, he was only making around $2 to $5 per trade and losing $2 to $5 per trade, right? Can any of you relate? But when he started going through the education that MTI offers, he started noticing different forms of patterns. Okay? How many of you have noticed patterns in the market? Now, if we go ahead and fast forward here, we can see that he was actually able to take time compounding and build residual income, and through the course, when he was actually able to put more money in, he did. All right, but I will tell you that he did stick with it, and through that, they taught him how to reinvest his money, compound, build residual income, and of course, when he was able to, he did deposited money along the way, which really allowed him to see daily returns of up to, if you look at your screen there, you can see 4,560 US dollars, 2,542 US dollars, and really, generating this type of income in just days. All right. Now he was withdrawing. By the way, I want to quickly just do a quick audio check. I have somebody that mentioned something about audio. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being great, 1 being you can't barely hear me, how many of you can just give me a scale, please, on how I sound right now? All right, thank you, Carol. Okay, cool. So it looks like everybody, I'm getting a 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 from the majority of you. So great, Reed, I know you'll make note of that. If anyone out there is having issues, I'm going to keep moving here, okay? So thank you, everybody, for that confirmation, by the way. So with that being said, I want to let you know that he was withdrawing up to $10,000 at one given time, and what once took him 6 months working, 5.5 days a week to make, he was now able to do in just one single day. Now, he did personally tell me that when he was able to start withdrawing this kind of money, it did dramatically change his lifestyle, financial lifestyle, if you will, for the better. All right? How many of you would like to learn this skill that will set you up and allow you to actually get to a point where you can build up your account, you can eventually get to this level, and what would, the question is, what would that do for you, right? So what I want to do right now is, if you take a look at his track record, okay, which is third-party verified, by the way, you will see that he has a gain of 4,548.82% return on his initial deposit investment. Now, take a look at the bottom there, right? You're going to see a graph of his growth. All right. Well, if you notice, you see it fluctuating, right, up and down, and just kind of staying stagnant. And all of a sudden, you notice in September 2012, things really just kind of skyrocket. And what we call that is a tipping point. All right. And what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to show you the strategy that's really allowed him, all right, and it's really assisted him in finding his tipping point, so that we can go ahead and assist you in finding your tipping point faster. All right. So really quick, to celebrate his accomplishments, I will tell you that back in April, his biggest day was $8,800 US dollars in just one day. And so let me ask you this question, all right? Now, I'm not saying you're going to be able to make this starting tomorrow. What if the strategy I'm going to show you right now will begin to allow you to make $2,000 to $5,000 US dollars in a single month, right? How many of you would like to learn that? And so once again, let's go ahead and let's get right into things. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up my charts. And once I pull up my charts, if you can all please just give me a Y for yes, letting me know that you do see my charts up on your screen. We are good to go. All right, perfect. So what we see right now in front of us, all right, this is our wealth acceleration software. All right, now this software is the software that we actually provide all of our students here at MTI who decide to enroll with the Ultimate Traders Package on Demand. Now, I know that we have some experienced traders in the room. I know that we also have a lot of maybe you might be a novice, which is, hey, no problem. But if you take a look at the screen, you can notice that I have 6 different currency pairs pulled up on the screen, okay? So at this time, what I want to ask you to do is go ahead and write those 6 currencies down, okay? Just write those down, and once you write those down, just type in the word done, all right? And you can also, if you notice on the top right-hand side of your screen, you can actually take a snapshot too, depending on your PC, all right? So what I want to do right now is I want to go ahead and I'm going to pull up the Great British Pound and the New Zealand currency pair, all right? How many of you see that up on your screen? Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you. All right, cool. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and for those of you that don't know how to read the Forex market, it's actually really, really simple, all right? Now, each one of these candlesticks represent price, interest, point over time. All right, now each one of these bars that you see, whether it's dark blue or white, they represent 60 minutes of time. Now, you're going to have white bars, which means the price has fluctuated and gone up, okay, if you notice that right there. And then when you have dark bars, which means the market has decreased or gone down. All right, and so one thing I want you to go ahead and I want you to make note of real quick is this. I'm going to go ahead and compress the chart. And one thing I want you to know is the great thing about the Forex market is this. All right, if you take a look here and you notice the market actually moves in what you call a wave-like pattern, all right, where the market makes highs and the market makes lows. Market makes highs and the market makes lows. How many of you see that, okay? And so the key, and you see higher highs and higher lows. Now you see lower lows and probably likely going to form lower lows and lower highs, all right? But the great thing about the Forex compared to other markets, all right, is that if you want to buy the Forex market, just buy it. And if you want to sell the market, just sell it. All right, there's not many options out there that you can do. You can really only buy or sell, all right? So you have a 50-50 chance of being right or being wrong just by simply guessing, which basically means if you have a decent strategy, the percentages will highly fall in your favor. Does that make sense? And so what I want to go ahead and do, I want to move this up real quick. Let me just clean up these charts. And as I move this, as I go ahead and move the chart up just a little bit, I want to show you something, okay? In this market, the way the market moves is the market's going to create a low, the market's going to create a high, and the market, this is how the market moves. Make sense? And so what you want to understand is that the market is going to go ahead and it's going to create what you call a low, all right, a high or a low. And so let me go ahead and just put that right here. You have a high or a low right here, and I'm going to go ahead and same thing up here. Now, why am I explaining this, okay? Well, one of the areas that the market has provided us with is that it's going to provide a high and a low within a 24-hour period, okay? So you're going to be able to see that, especially on the 1-hour time frames, and we are using 1-hour time frames, by the way, okay? So like I said, because the market will repeat itself over and over and over again, the market's going to form its very first high or low, if you will, between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're taking notes or taking snapshots, go ahead and write that down. Put 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and between 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right? So that's going to be right here. Now, with that being said, that's going to basically, that's like a 7 to 10 opportunity. What I mean by that is you basically have a 70% chance that the market will form a high or a low between this time every single day. All right, now, the opposite high or low of the day will form anytime between 8 a.m., okay, and 2 p.m. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and put 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right, and that's also going to be 2 p.m. So with that being said, let me ask you a question. Do you believe it's going to be easier to find the high or low between 2 and 5 or between this larger gap in time? All right, so what we're going to be doing right now is this. All right, and listen, from experience here, from using this, it's much easier to find the first high or low than it is the opposite high or low. Make sense? So what I want to do right now is this. I want you to stay focused on finding the first high or low of the day. This is part of our strategy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to trade in that direction within that 3-hour windows. All right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and I want to show you something. Now, with us focusing on this high or low of the day, all right, and the reason it's important is because understand the distance covered between the low and the high, all right, or the high and the low of the day, that's also known as average daily trading range. Okay, it's also known as ADT. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put ADT right here. Now, with that being said, you can expect anywhere between 50 pips. All right, so we're going to put 50 here, 50 pips, and 200 pips. You can expect anywhere between 50 to 200 pips within that time frame. All right, now the question is, what is a pip? All right, and what is it worth to me? Well, there's 3 major lot sizes traded in the Forex market. Now, all right, depending on your actual investment, that's going to depend on your ROI, on what your ROI will be. All right, so for example, if you just start off with the very, just the very small lot size, it's called a micro position. Now, you are going to basically invest about $20 per trade, and I'm pretty sure everyone in this room can invest $20 per trade, okay? And what that basically means is that every trade will be worth about 10 cents. So let me go ahead and write that down. If you're taking notes, I want you to go ahead and just jot this down. So what we're going to put real quick is I'm going to put a $20 investment, all right, and that's going to basically yield you 1 pip. 1 pip will equal roughly 10 cents, all right? So this is as trading a micro lot. Now, if you want to go ahead and you want to play at a higher level, okay, we can turn the notch up and we can now start trading at what you call a mini lot. Now, a mini lot investment, that means that you're going to be investing about $200 per trade, and each pip is going to equal about $1. So, how many of you are currently trading right now, whether it's a micro or mini, or even a standard? If you just give me a Y for yes, so you might already be familiar with this. Okay, so you have a $200 investment, and then 1 pip is going to equal about $1 US, right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and take it up one more notch, and this is the level real quick that everybody's eventually wants to get at, right? This is what's the end goal in mind. It's where you're trading a standard lot, which is about a $2,000 investment trade, which is really where life, changes in life happens. Does that make sense? That's really where, changes happen and things can really take a turn for the much better. But I will tell you that on average, all right, when you generate a pip trading a standard lot, each pip is worth about $10. So I want to go ahead and I'm going to put 2,000 invest, and then you also have 1 pip, and 1 pip equals about 10 US dollars, right? So with that being said, understand that your goal is to build your way up to a standard account, okay? If you continue to stay at micro lot, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to tell you that's not going to be really extremely life-changing. But for those of you that are able, just real quick, if I can have all of you, if you could please be so kind, type into the question section real quick. How much would you be able to fund your account with? So how many of you would be able to trade with a say a mini lot? Just type in the word mini if you're able to trade with a mini lot, or you can even put in 2,000 if you're able to trade with a standard lot, but just to kind of give me perspective and get a better idea. All right, cool. Thank you, Phoebe, Gavin, and everybody else that's responding, Russ, Pat, and everybody else. Appreciate that. All right, cool. So real quick, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on here. So what I want to do is this. I want to build confidence in you, okay? And what I want to do is I want to show you how this actually works. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to basically make this as simple as possible, and I want you to remember that what we're focusing on right now, okay, my main focus is what? My main focus is to focus on the first high or low of the day between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what I want to do real quick is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean the charts up. I'm going to drop the charts back down, and let's go ahead and get right into things. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and show you something. I'm going to decompress the charts there. All right. So if we're looking for the high or the low right now, I want you to stick with me. Now listen, a lot of you might have a lot of great questions here throughout this, but once again, I just want you to just pay close attention and catch on to what I'm actually showing you. But the very first thing I want you to see is this. All right, how many of you notice right here, all right, how many of you notice right here, let me just back this up real quick. How many of you notice right here, this right here is giving you the time, open, position, you have the high and the low. How many of you see that, okay, and the date? And so what I'm doing right now is what I'm showing you is this is 5 a.m., and at 5 a.m. what we can see is that this basically is creating what you call this created a high. All right, how many of you see that? Now, let me go ahead and mark this up real quick for you. So how many of you notice right here the market creates a high, all right, and what it's doing is it's creating a directional push, all right, going downward. You see that? And now what I want to do is this. Follow me here. I'm going to go ahead and back the market up. All right, what I want to do now is show you, if I go ahead and back this up real quick, let's go to 2 a.m. on the previous day. How many of you notice right here, what do you see? We see the market giving us a high, a low, and then all of a sudden the market's creating a directional push downward. How many of you see that? Okay? And now if I go ahead and I back the market up once again, and I want you to follow me here because it's part of understanding really the strategy. But let's go ahead and same thing. I'm going to back the market up. Let's back it up to 2 a.m. on the previous day. And how many of you notice right here the market creates a high right there, and all of a sudden you see a directional push moving downward. How many of you see that? All right. Same thing. I'm going to back the market up to the previous day. We're going to go back and stop right there. How many of you notice the market creates a low, and all of a sudden you see a directional push, all right, in a bullish direction, and once again, this is very predictable. So if I keep going, I can go on and on and on, right? We're going to go ahead and stop right there. Same thing. Take a look. You'll see the market creates a low, and all of a sudden, the market creates a directional push in an upward manner. And so this is what we're actually trading, by the way, all right? And so what I want to do right now is actually show you how do we actually trade this and how does it actually hold true. Now, for the sake of time, I'm going to keep moving here, but I could actually keep going on and on and on and show you how this actually holds true. And as a matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll show you one more here. If you take a look at the at 2 o'clock on the 4th, how many of you see right here? You see the market creates a high, and of course it creates a directional push moving downward. You see that? So that's what we're actually going to be trading. And so to show you how this actually holds true, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I'm going to back the market up real quick and show you. Let me go ahead and clean this up. All right, and we are going to be using the Great British Pound New Zealand currency pair. And so let me go ahead and back this up and show you how this actually holds true. So first things first, what I want to do is let's go ahead and identify and find, all right, our Let me advance the market forward. All right, right here, okay? So if you notice, we have 2 o'clock, but what I want you to understand is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking and we're going to be trading at 3 a.m. every single morning. So the first thing that we're going to do when we actually utilize the strategy is this. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put down 3 a.m. so that you can go ahead and keep in mind that this is 3 a.m., okay, Eastern Standard Time. All right, let me go ahead and highlight that. Now, with that being said, first thing we're going to do, the moment we have this candle right here, if you notice 3 a.m., all right, first thing I'm going to do is you have to understand everything we do is surrounded around this time frame. Now, I already explained the BI tool, so that the box information tool, so you know how to read that. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a green line. All right, I'm going to put a green line 10 pips above the high. So you see, let's go 10 pips above, and I'm going to drop the green line right there. Now, the second thing I'm going to do, okay, is I'm going to basically drop another green line 5 pips below the low. So right here we have the low. Let's go 5 pips below and drop it right there. Now, what are we going to actually label this line right here? Well, we're going to call this our entry buy, all right, and we're going to put up 10 pips above high, okay? So this is our entry buy. Now we're going to go ahead, and the green line that you notice down here, 5 pips below the low, we're going to call this our entry sell. Yeah, this, by the way, this is a 1-hour time frame, max. All right, so we're going to put our entry sell, and we're going to put minus 5 pips, all right, below our low. Now that we've identified, okay, we have an entry buy, we have an entry sell, let's go ahead. We're going to advance the market forward, all right, and we're going to go ahead and see what we're going to do. Now, what I want you to understand is we are not actually in the market right now, okay? These are just pending orders. All right, the market must cross into one of these. Basically, we're looking for the market to hit the green line to let us know if we're either going to buy the market or sell the market. Now, we move forward 1 hour, 2 hours, and boom. We notice that the market hits our entry buy, and so what we're going to do is I'm going to place a mark right here. All right, stay with me here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rename this, and we're going to take this from our entry buy. We're now going to call this our market buy, okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cancel my opposite order. And now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I need to, after I cancel my opposite order, okay, we now need to place our stop. Now, our stop, I'm going to place my stop at the low of the 3 a.m. candle. Does that make sense? And so once I go ahead and place my stop at the close of the 3 a.m. candle, right there, there's my stop. And so for those of you that aren't really familiar with what a stop is, understand that a stop is basically, what it's doing is it's allowing you to exit your position in case the market goes against you, all right, to stay safe. That's what a stop is. And so let's go ahead. We're going to advance. Now, one thing I want you to notice here, a lot of you are probably wondering, well, Mike, what's our goal? Well, let me show you how we identify that. I'm going to go ahead, and the first thing we want to do is we want to measure our risk. And so if we measure from our market buy to our stop, how many pips do you see? Okay, you see 67 pips. So for those of you that aren't sure where I'm looking, if you just follow me here, take a look at the top left-hand side of your screen. The range equals pips. So range equals 67, all right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and 67 pips. Now I'm going to go 67 pips above, and that's where I'm going to go ahead and place my limit. That's my trading range. So at this point, we see I'm going to go ahead and put my market to 106. So we have 106, and let me go ahead and put that right here, and we're going to drop it right there. All right. So right now, that's my range. This is what I'm going after. So I'm going after 67 pips, and I'm going to call that my reward. All right. 67 pip reward. So let's go ahead. Let's advance the market forward. We're going to hold our position. So we have 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, 11, 12, 13, and boom. So we have 13 hours. How many of you see that? Within 13 hours, we hit our reward. So that now goes from what we wanted to obtain to now actually obtaining it, trading a standard lot. That is $670 US profit. Now, how many of you would find value and be okay generating that type of income? Just off trading in the morning, just a couple hours, all right? And so with that being said, let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and clean up these charts. Let me delete that, and let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how this holds true, all right? And once again, let me go ahead and shift this over here. How many of you are understanding this so far? So if I asked you, hey, let's take a look at the next one, how many of you would be able to do it so far, right? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you one more, and then I want to ask you, right? I'm going to ask you how to do the next one. So with that being said, let's go ahead, and I want you to remember right here, if you notice, let's advance the market forward. I'm looking for right there, okay? So once again, we're looking for our 3 a.m. on the following day, and there it is. So what's the first thing we're going to do? Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to mark our high and we're going to mark our low. So I'm going to place a green line, right? I'm going to place a green line right here. How many of you remember? 10 pips above the high. So I'm going to go 10 pips above the high, drop it right there. And then I'm also going to go ahead and place a green line 5 pips below my low. So let's drop down 5 pips, and we're going to drop it. We're going to drop it right there, okay? So once we go ahead and do that, now what I'm going to do is, first thing we're doing is we're going to label these, right? So how many of you can remember what was the top one? That was our entry buy. Entry buy. All right, and that basically is going to be 10 pips above the high. All right. Now, same thing. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the low. We're going to label this our entry sell. Entry sell, and once again, that is minus 5 pips, all right, below the low. So with that being said, let's go ahead and drop that there. And what am I going to do? I'm going to advance the market forward, and I'm looking to see, remember, these are just pending orders. And right there, 1 hour into the trade, we hit our entry buy. I'm going to go ahead, and this is where I'm going to go ahead and enter into the market. I'm going to turn this into my market buy. All right, market buy, and then what else am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and delete my opposite order. I'm going to place my stop. Where am I going to place my stop? I'm going to place my stop at the close. All right, place my stop at the close of the 3 a.m. Candle right there. And once again, we're going to take a look. What is our reward? How do we find out what our reward should be? Well, we're going to measure from our market buy. Our risk, 75 pips. So we're going to measure 75 pips in the opposite direction, and that takes us to the 214. All right. So 214 is going to be our reward. Let's go ahead and drop our mark right there, and once again, boom, right there, okay? So once again, our reward is going to be roughly 74 pips. 74 pips, not bad. So I'm going to put 74 pips, and this will be our reward, okay? How many of you are with me so far? Can you just give me a Y for yes if you're with me so far and if this is making sense? And so once again, we're going to advance the market forward, living our life, doing our thing, and just a few hours later, we go ahead and we're going to hit our reward. So this is now going to go from what we were aiming after to what our actual reward was. We're now at 740 US dollars profit. So 2 trades, not bad. Let's go ahead and keep moving here. Same thing. I'm going to keep repeating the process. So now, let's see if we can get a little bit more interaction to see how many of you are actually understanding this, right? So let's go ahead and shift this over here. Same thing. What we're looking for is we're looking for the following day. We're looking for our 3 a.m. candle on the following day, okay? So keep going here, and all right. Let me back this up, and there it is, okay? Following day, 3 a.m. candle, same thing. Oops, sorry about that, everybody. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my high. I'm going to mark my low. All right, so once I do that, same thing. Now, a lot of you probably have some questions regarding as far as, well, what happens if it goes in the opposite direction. Let me show you real quick, all right? So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to place my mark 10 pips above my high. So I'm going to drop it right there. And same thing, I want to drop 5 pips, all right, 5 pips below the low. So we're going to drop it right there. Now, what's the top one going to be called? Well, we're going to call that our entry buy. We're going to put 10 pips above the high, and then same thing for entry sell. We're going to go ahead and label that entry sell, and that's minus 5 pips, all right, and that's below the low. So let's go ahead and see what happens. We're going to look to see, are we going to be buying the market or are we going to be selling the market? So 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So 3 hours into the trade, how many of you see we're going to go ahead, we're going to go and get into the market, and that's going to go from our entry sell to now market sell, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and delete our opposite order. And where are we going to place our stop? Well, I want you to focus here. We're going to place our stop, okay, we're going to place our stop now. It's before we place the stop right at the low, right, of the 3 a.m. candlestick. What we're going to do right now is we're going to place our stop 5 pips above, okay, our 3 a.m. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to drop, that's going to be our stop right there. So we'll just go ahead and put stop. And now, once again, we're going to go ahead and measure and see how many pips did we measure. Now, if we go ahead and we measure from our market sell to our risk, which is 50 pips, I want you to understand that with this strategy, we're going after a minimum of 50 pips. So if the risk is ever less than 50 pips, we're still going to be going after 50 pips regardless. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go ahead and drop it at the 176. So 176 will be our reward. We will drop it right. All right there. So with that being said, we're going to label this our reward. We're going after 50 pips. So plus 50 pips reward. All right. Now, let's advance the market forward. We're going to see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hours into the trade, we go ahead and we hit our reward, and we capture 50 pips. So if we go ahead and equate that to a dollar amount, well, that's going to equate, remember, everything I'm showing you is as if we're trading a standard lot. That's $500 US. Now let me ask you this. How many of you are enjoying this actual strategy in a manner of, wow, you know, it's really kind of opening up your eyes to how much market movement there is at that early in the morning with, you know, with this specific strategy and market, all right? And a lot of people wonder, you know, well, why does it work specifically with European? And I'll explain that here in a second, but let's go ahead and keep moving forward here. And I want to show you, once again, how this holds true once again. So if I advance the market forward, let's see where we're at. All right, we're at 10, so let's keep going here. We're going to advance the market forward, and we're looking for, bam, perfect. Okay, so now we're on the 5th, 3 a.m., same thing. We're going to go ahead and place our high. We're going to go ahead and place our entry buy, 10 pips above the high, so right there. Same thing. We're going to go ahead and put our entry sell 5 pips below, right there. And with that being said, let me just go ahead and, all right, there we go. So let's go ahead and label these. We're going to put our entry buy, and our entry buy is going to be plus 10 pips above the high, and our entry sell is going to be minus 5 pips below the low. We're going to advance the market forward. We're looking to see which direction we're going to trade in. We automatically hit our entry buy. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take our entry buy, and that's now going to turn into our market buy. We're going to immediately do what? We're going to go ahead and cancel our opposite order. We're going to place our stop. Where are we going to place our stop? We're going to place our stop at the close, right? At the close of the previous 3 a.m. candle. So right there, we'll go ahead and advance the market forward. But before I do that, what's the one thing we need to do? We need to go ahead and see what our reward is. So right now, we have a risk of 45, so we're going to go after 45. It's a 1-1. And we're looking at the 235, so we're going to drop our reward at the 235 right there. Once again, right? And so we're looking for 45 pip reward. We're going to advance the market forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 hours later, we capture our reward. So that's going to go from 45 pip reward to trading a standard lot. That's $450 US profit. All right. So with that, I want to go ahead and I want to go ahead and keep moving on here. But how many of you? And by the way, Kathleen, I do appreciate what Kathleen just said. Do you remember earlier how I told you? And I do appreciate catching that. Remember earlier how I told you that even if the sell, okay, even if the risk is 45 pips, you're going to go after a minimum of 50 pips. I actually want to go ahead and I appreciate Kathleen for actually catching that, because I'm looking at the time frame, so we can go ahead and I got to keep moving here. I do appreciate that. So as a matter of fact, you're absolutely right, Kathleen, and I do thank you for that. But this would actually be placed 5 pips above. And why is that? Because at a minimum, we're going to be going and capturing 50 pips at the minimum, okay? And once again, Kathleen, I really greatly appreciate you catching that. Thank you once again. You know, I'm looking at the time here, trying to move as fast as I can. But once again, that would actually be $500 US reward. So with that, how many of you find value in what I'm showing you right now? And how many of you believe this would honestly be a pretty good way for you to, you know, really generate a good income stream, and it would really allow you to go ahead and actually start building up your account? And if we just look at $740 US plus 670 plus 500 plus 500, folks, that's $2,410 US, $2,410 US on 4 trades alone. So $2,410 US profit, okay, and that was in approximately 4 days. So how many of you would like to generate that type of income in a 4-day time frame? And the question is, what would that do for you? Okay. And once again, Kamal has a great, you know, he's saying why 3 a.m. not 2 a.m. We get into all the details, but understand my goal is for you to really see if this is something you see yourself doing. But what I want to do right now is I want to keep on moving here, because I believe, hey, Reed, can you just give me a quick shout as far as how I'm looking at time, just to kind of get a better idea, so I can just gauge this real quick so I don't eat up anybody else's time. All right. Perfect. Thanks, buddy. All right, so I got just a couple more minutes here. So what I want to do is I want to keep moving. But what I want to ask you and what I want you to do is this, all right? I want you to imagine, all right, having the opportunity to literally experience live webinars where you're learning from an experienced trader who has days like this. If you take a look right here, all right, how many of you notice? You see 964.8 pips, and you're looking at $9,861 US. All right, once again, that was, if you take a look at the times, and you take a look at the different currency pairs, type in a yes if you found what I just showed you, if you found this easy to follow, and if you found this easy to obey, and even if you found it easy to execute. And an income of $3,000 to $5,000 US a month, especially to start with, would you like that? And so if you said yes to that, I really want you to imagine having the opportunity to experience live webinars where they're showing you what to do, where we do have days like this, all right? Now, I want to go ahead and I want to build proper expectations for you. And so I want to go ahead and introduce to you just some of the students here at MTI, such as Thomas S. He's from Ontario, Canada. He's a pastor. And he says, I made $4,500 US in my first week. Then you have Anthony S. from Trinidad and Tobago. He says, I would say about a month after I started to see a return on my investment, an average month of trading, and I'm making 3,000 plus pips. All right, so let's keep on moving here. We have Peter Cook. He says, I did Josh's Great British Pound Australian, and it took me to the limit, just as Josh said. I did not move my stop or fiddle with the plan. I just bought, set my stop and limit, and left it alone as the analysis was spot on and it was good for 80 pips. FX Caddy, he says, I've struggled for several months, but my rep got me focused, and I've made 575 pips in 2 weeks. My goal was $800 a month, but I think I'm going to kick it up to $1,000 a month, getting ready for the 3-day mastery course, and he goes on to just thank a couple individuals. And here's another one. Here's FX MPX. He says, 144 pips in the last 24 hours, 96 pips this morning alone. I can't say anything else, but thank you, thank you, thank you. So how many of you would like to generate, once again, if you see 96 pips in this morning alone, it's very similar to what I just got done showing you. How many of you find value if you were able to just wake up and generate that type of income in just a morning, right? And so what I want to do right now is understand the reason our students are really able to achieve these results is because of Joshua Martinez and because of the fact that he's your host. All right, I'll tell you right now, he is paving the way to really make this possible for you. And I'll tell you, if he can do it, if he can do it, you can do it. Why do I say that? Because of his story, and understand he was just a personal trainer, and he had a bigger dream, and that's what led him into the Forex market just a few years ago. Now, I will tell you also that with that being said, let's get right into what you actually get and what we're going to be doing for you today. Now, let me just give you the details of this program. First, you're going to receive 2 live market online Forex sessions per month. All right, that's a $1,997 value. Now, stay with me because I'm going to actually show you how you can take advantage of all this for just $30 US, okay? But these 2 sessions are 6-hour trading blocks where he's going to basically be trading live right in front of you. All right, you're going to understand how to avoid making costly mistakes. You're going to learn how past history repeats future profit potential. You're going to discover ROI boosting strategies to accelerate your trading account. And also, you're going to have the ability to pick his brain in a live Q&A session. Okay? Now, you're also going to receive, all right, 1 Forex market preview video each week. Now, this is a $997 value in itself. And basically, you're going to gain exclusive access to the market analysis that Josh does on a weekly basis. And he's also going to explain the possible scenarios that he's going to be looking to take advantage of so that you can be ahead of the game. Okay, and I will tell you, this is priceless because this is on-demand education, and each of his sessions will be recorded. So even if you can't attend live, you will be able to listen and basically attend and extract the knowledge on your time frame and your schedule. All right. Also, let's go ahead and talk about this. You're going to be receiving recorded replays plus ongoing access to Joshua Martinez, all right, professional trader, and I'll tell you that each of these sessions, once again, I mentioned they are going to be recorded. So with that being said, they're going to become available within 24 to 48 hours after the session ends. And in the live market webinars and preview videos, not only is Josh going to basically show you his winning trade techniques, but he's also going to highlight common mistakes that you can really avoid doing that a lot of people do by accident, okay? But once again, that's not all you're going to be receiving today because we do have 4 special bonus gifts for you for getting started today. Bonus number 1, you have 30 days of free, basically 30 days for free of Market Traders Institute's VIP Analyst on Demand service. What is that? Well, basically, you're going to be able to attend and join live professional analysts as they basically every day give you the breakdown, daily trading ranges, how to succeed, what to trade. And anyways, but this alone is $997, all right, value. And bonus number 2, you're going to get an introduction to currency trading, 4 Forex lessons by Market Traders Institute, and once again, that's a $797 value. Bonus number 3 is the profit plan. So you're going to basically have a profit plan consultation call with a professional. And once again, bonus number 4, all right, you're going to receive the 10 Keys to Successful Forex Trading ebook by Jared Martinez. So with that being said, let's go ahead and quickly recap the value of everything you're going to be receiving. And if you take a look right here, folks, we already discussed all of these in the breakdown, but you're going to basically get a combined value of $5,403 worth of education here. And look, the normal price of everything that I'm showing you with what we're doing right now is normally just $297 per month, but you're not going to be paying that today. Why? Because I want to help everyone really on this webinar today by doing something for you that we normally don't do, especially what we're doing right now. But normally you'd be paying $297 US. But that's not the case today. Today, for those of you that decide to move forward with us and give us a shot, we're going to allow you to get started today for just $27 US. All right, so if you take action right now, I'm going to give you the ability to get it for only $27 for your first 30 days of membership with our new customer introductory offer. Now, the beauty about it as well is that we're also going to go ahead and reduce your ongoing monthly payment down to just $147 US, okay, every month thereafter. So by enrolling, okay, by enrolling you in our VIP discount club, understand you're going to be receiving a savings of 50% off. And look, please keep in mind that you can cancel your membership at any time. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to have Reed. Reed, if you could please be so kind of just shoot out the link. A lot of actually Amy's saying, how do I take advantage of this? Well, take a look on the screen. This is the link, folks, that you're going to want to go ahead and click. I thank you, Reed. I see Reed is actually sending that out. Can you all just please be so kind to type in a Y for yes if you did receive that link, just to let me know that you received that. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Now, let me go ahead and let you all know real quick that you are going to receive 30-day money-back satisfaction guarantee. So look, even at the $27 cost, all right, with everything you're going to be receiving, if you're not satisfied after experiencing the live market, the Forex mentorship and empowerment program, and everything, just contact us within the 30 days. And look, we will literally allow you to cancel your membership, and we'll refund your $27, no problem whatsoever, okay? And you can read all the full details of this money-back guarantee on the next page. It's not a problem, all right? But I just want you to know that. Now, real quick, let's talk about performance and what we've discovered and what's happened here recently in the past of this year. Well, in May, we generated 155 pips with the webinars that you're going to be plugging into. In June, 392 pips. July, 354 pips. August, we actually took a loss of 18 pips. September, we took a loss of 70 pips. October, we had a gain of 210 pips. In November, we had a loss of 150 pips. December, gain of 105 pips thus far. So in May, that's $1,550 US gain. June, $3,920. $3,540, a loss of 180, a loss of 700, a gain of 2,100, a loss of 1,500, another gain right there. And folks, bottom line, this year alone since May, $9,780 US at a standard lot alone. How many of you would like to generate that? And so with that, I just really want you to imagine what your results can be like. And my time's about up, all right? I'm looking at the time right now, and let me go ahead and see real quick. All right, so yeah, perfect. I'm actually doing great on time. I have about 2 more minutes. And so I want you to really just imagine, what would your results truly be like if you just focused, right? You join these webinars, and you just put all of your devoted attention into actually into doing the best you can. Do you believe you can succeed at that level?